According to published reports, including ABC 15 Arizona, the incident occurred on July 6, 2024, and at the time, the temperature was 113 degrees Fahrenheit. The victim, Micheal Kenon, was walking in his neighborhood when police officers stopped him. The officers, according to published reports, believed he was the wanted person they were looking for. The officers forced him to the hot pavement and held him down. Consequently, the victim suffered serious burns in several places on his body and had to be hospitalized for weeks. The officers suffered no disciplinary sanctions because there was no policy in place regarding holding citizens down on hot pavement. This policy deficiency is very problematic. It suggests that Phoenix police officers are robotic-minded and incapable of using common sense. Such mindless unawareness is excusable under circumstances that a reasonable thinking person would recognize as having a high probability of causing harm to a human being. These officers, apparently lacking common sense, cannot be held accountable because no specific police policy existed to provide them with guidance. Well, since police officers cannot operate outside of written policy, the persons responsible for making the written policy must be held accountable for not having the foresight to include this scenario in the policy. They should be fired and replaced. Then, too, is it desirable to have police officers who cannot make common sense assessments? What is the advantage of having police officers who function by the programming of the written policy? These robotic officers cannot or will not take any action outside of police programming, even when obvious adjustments are needed to protect the health of citizens. If the police officers were armed with reasonableness, the injuries to Mr. Kenon would have never occurred, and the addition to the written policy would not be necessary. The amended written policy is not a solution. It is a ploy to convince the public that police upper management is resolving a problem. Police written policy must have a specific ambient temperature range that prohibits the police from placing citizens on surfaces. Without specifics in police policy, proper police actions are guided by non-existent police reasonable thinking and shield police from accountability.